Coming up, Bishop Michael Bibi pays a courtesy visit to the moderator of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, Right Reverend Mickey Hans, appreciates the church for its work in a show of ecumenism. The nursery and primary sections of Mount Carmel College or of Mount Carmel Catholic School graduates first batch today in an event presided at by the Education Secretary, Father Vincent Meswe. And today is International Menstrual Hygiene Day, a day set aside to sensitize the public and especially young girls on menstrual hygiene. Those are the top stories on our midweek primetime edition of the news on the Divine Mercy Radio Television. In the minutes right ahead, we shall give you a full package of the newscast. Today is the 28th of May 2025. Welcome you to this midweek edition of the Primetime News on DMR TV. We start off in Rome. Unto this week's General Papal Audience, Pope Leo XIV continues his reflection on the life of Jesus through the parables, this time focusing on the parable of the Good Samaritan. Drawing from this parable, the Holy Father highlighted the Christian virtues of compassion, love, and mercy, exhorting all Christians to have all three as their guide. Franklin Famukon gives us update on Pope Leo's audience of today.
The subject of compassion drawn from the parable of the Good Samaritan, as narrated in the Gospel according to Luke, was the focus of Pope Leo XIV's second general audience held at St. Peter's Square in the Vatican. Keeping the series of reflections on the life of Jesus through the parables, started by his predecessor, Pope Leo XIV chose to reflect this week on the parable of the Good Samaritan. In his teachings, the Holy Father, in answering the question, "Who is my brother?" exhorted all to develop the Christian virtue of compassion and mercy.
Let us pray then that we might grow in humanity, so that our relationships might be truer and richer in compassion. Let us ask the heart of Christ for the grace to increasingly have the same feelings as him.
Christians, said the Pope, are not to ask the question, "Who loves me?" but to ask, "Who have I loved?" For the first is passive and the second active. The Holy Father reminded pilgrims of Christ's role in their lives as the Good Samaritan who heals all their wounds.
The Good Samaritan surprises us by his compassion, and his example of generosity challenges us to lay aside our selfishness. We can also see ourselves in the man who fell into the hands of robbers, for we have all experienced the difficulties of life and the pain brought about by sin. In our frailty, we discover that Christ himself is the Good Samaritan who heals our wounds and restores our hope. Let us turn then to the Sacred Heart, model of true humanity, and ask him to make our heart ever more like his.
Concluding this week's papal audience, Pope Leo XIV appreciated the presence of pilgrims from various countries.
I'm happy to welcome the English-speaking pilgrims and visitors taking part in today's audience, especially those coming from England, Ghana, Kenya, Canada, and the United States of America.
He also imparted his blessings on them.
As we prepare to commemorate the Lord's ascension into heaven, I pray that each of you and your families may experience a renewal of hope and joy. God bless you all.
This week's audience served as exhortation for all Christians to assume the role of the Good Samaritan, show love, mercy, and compassion to all while placing their trust in Christ.
We bring you back to Buea, and we about to tell you that His Lordship Michael Bibi has paid a fraternal visit to the moderator of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, the Right Reverend Mickey Hans Abia, moderator of the Presbyterian Church, the PCC. Today or Tuesday's visit at the Synod office showcased the interdenominational harmony shared between Catholics and Presbyterians. The visit was also an opportunity for the bishop to explore the services at the Presbyterian Diagnostic Urgent Care Hospital, Buea. Let's have details of the bishop's visit with Jude Mbako.
This Tuesday morning, His Lordship Michael Bibi had come to the Synod office of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon to meet the leader, moderator Right Reverend Mickey Hans Abia. Primary focus of the over 4 hours discussion was on building faith and care for the flock under their charge, enhancing the spirit of ecumenism. The prelate expressed gladness for warm reception at the Synod office.
I think I'm very, very happy, and I am pleased. I knew that the moderator was a very busy person. I knew when I would come this morning, he would surely entrust me to a medical officer and continue with his work. But I must say I'm sincerely happy with the hospitality, the welcoming spirit that he has showed me this morning, putting everything aside.
During his stay here, His Lordship Michael Bibi had a working session with some key services of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, like the eye clinic, the dental clinic, and the general department of the Presbyterian Diagnostic Urgent Care Hospital at the Synod office.
Of course, I was here during the inauguration of the hospital, and coming back today in order to see how the hospital is functioning. I must say I am truly delighted. Yes, I decided to make use of the services that we have by also checking my eyes, checking my teeth, in order to be sure that they're in order. And I want to sincerely appreciate the services that I met at the hospital. And in Mission Hospital, of course, we are reaching out to humanity and making sure that following the healing ministry of Christ, that we also continue in that same way in order to bring healing to our brothers and sisters who come to our hospital. So I want to sincerely thank the moderator. I want to thank all the doctors, all the nurses for the wonderful work that they are doing.
Earlier this year in March, Right Reverend Mickey Hans Abia and the former moderator of PCC, the Very Reverend Funky Samuel Foba, paid a visit to the bishop at Small Supper after his involvement in an accident en route to Yokadoma. The fellowship between both leaders is telling of how solid the church in Buea has embraced the ideas of ecumenism with prime focus, the growth of the faith of God's children and the progress of the flock under their care.
Away from those two church leaders, closing the academic year 2024-2025, the parents and teachers of Mount Carmel Nursery and Primary School, Muya, witnessed the graduation ceremony of the pioneer batch of the nursery and primary section, taking place at the school premises this May 28, 2025. The graduating pupils were urged to shine out to the world. Bernard Asongne went down to Muya. He brought back this report.
Undergoing educational drilling and nurturing for the past 9 months in Our Lady of Mount Carmel Nursery and Primary School, Muya, the teachers, parents, guardians, and well-wishers are happy to witness the pioneer graduating batch of both the nursery and primary sectors of the school. With the beauty of the day colorfully animated by different display of talent by the young pupils, ranging from ballet traditional dances to fashion parades to chair dance, memory verse, and finally an educational debate.
Meeting the high points of the graduation ceremony, which saw both the nursery and primary graduates in their distinctive robes and their vows of being outstanding in the society, the message echoed by the head teacher Rachel Tongwa to the graduating pupils is to shine out all the more to the world.
My word of advice to these children is that they should go out to the world and continue to shine. Even though there are a lot of evil things around now, but I pray for these children so strong, so that as they are going out, they should go and shine. They should go and show the examples that they have learned from Mount Carmel.
Recognizing the importance of knowledge over ignorance, the pupils both at the crossroads of nursery and primary education are filled with delight and gratitude for the expression of their hard work.
My name is Adamazi Gambela. Thank my teacher. I thank my parents. I'm happy for my graduation.
My name is Dekra Prosper. I feel well in my graduation. My graduation was so nice today because I came empty-handed and went back full. That is why my graduation became happy today.
My name is Amma Belton. I am graduating class 6
Experiencing first class the eminent success which comes with the great performance of the pupils, the parents are overwhelmed with joy.
Very good, very well about the graduation. My child is graduating today, so I'm so happy for the day of today. The joy that is in my heart, I cannot just explain how the joy is.
I've all seen what the children have for us. We are grateful to the bishop, the proprietor, for the wonderful teachers he gave us. All of them trained, as you can see from the output of the children and the results. So we are calling on the parents that our doors are open for interview into Form 1 and also for to come to our school for admission.
While enjoying the fanfare that accompanied the graduation ceremony, it remains clear to all that Catholic nursery and primary education stands tall as a solid foundation for integral formation highly needed by society.
We stay in the education sector of the Diocese of Buea, where the Catholic Family Year has been noted for producing excellent results, especially in public examinations. At the just released common entrance exams, the pupils in the various Catholic schools across Buea Diocese recorded great success. Reverend Father Benjamin Fon looks at the performance of the Catholic primary schools within the Diocese of Buea in this report.
Vatican II document Gravissimum Educationis clearly mentions that the task of imparting education belongs primarily to the family, but it requires the help of the society as a whole. Being part of the society, the Church is not left out in all this, as she lays emphasis on the education of children in all levels. The Catholic education family have been noted for producing excellent results, especially in public examinations. During the just ended First School Leaving Certificate and Common Entrance exams, the pupils in our respective Catholic schools recorded great success, as noted in an interview by the head teacher of Catholic School Buea Station.
For grammar, we had 2 boys that sat for the exams and 11 girls, giving a total of 13 pupils who sat in for grammar common entrance. All of them passed in list A, giving us 100%. For those who went in for technical, we have 12 boys and 5 girls, giving us a total of 17 people who went in for technical. There, 1 boy failed, so the total number of boys that passed is 11, giving us a percentage of 91.67. For the girls, they sat 5 of them for the technical exam. Everybody passed, giving us a percentage of 100%. For the total overall percentage, we had 96.67. for the overall percentage.
In the mood of celebration, given that our children in the primary sector at the basic level just succeeded in flying colors in the government common entrance exams in both the grammar and the technical sections. So generally speaking, the results this year are far better than last year, given that the quality this year has actually gone up. Boya Zineri sent in 11 schools. 6 of those schools scored 100%. When you look at Tico, for example, all 14 schools went in and all the 14 schools scored 100%. All the pupils passing in list A. Limbe sent in 8 schools, 4 scored 100%, and the other 4 scored from 95% and above. And of course, the number of those who passed in list A is far higher than those who passed last year. So generally speaking, all our schools in the diocese did a wonderful job. In total, we sent in 699 pupils, and of course, 679 made it in list A, 657, and in list B, 22. So the general percentage for the diocese is 97.138%.
Some of the people shared their feelings after the publication of the results.
My name is John Helen. I am a pupil from CS Boya Station of St. Pius Primary Catholic School, Boya Station. I wrote my common entrance exam this year. When I went to write, I was so nervous in such a way I knew I could not do it. But with the help of my teachers, how they have been training me, I'm so happy that I passed, and I will be going to the next, and I'm finished with my primary education, and I'll be going to the secondary education.
I wrote the common entrance well this year, and it was so easy. I thought it will be hard. I am happy that I am entering to a next step forward into the secondary school.
It is always an exciting moment when these pupils are looking forward to embark on the next level of their education during the next academic year.
Congratulations once more to all the pupils who made it at the common entrance exams. We stay with education. This time around, we take you to yet another diocese within the province. And it is in Mamfe that Catholic education stakeholders, led by the Catholic Education Secretary of Mamfe Diocese, Reverend Father James Banksy, recently convened a meeting with school managers, head teachers, and other stakeholders of Catholic primary and secondary schools. The gathering aimed at evaluating the successes and challenges of the current school year and chart a path forward for the new academic year. Nadesh Nenchongme has this report from the Diocese of Mamfe.
The Catholic primary and secondary schools in the Diocese of Mamfe recently had their end-of-year meeting, bringing together school managers, head teachers, bosses, and other stakeholders to reflect on the academic year's successes and challenges, supervised by the Catholic Education Secretary, Reverend Father James Banksy. During the meeting, successes were acknowledged and challenges were discussed with proposed solutions identified to address them. These reflective exercise enabled the schools to assess their performances and chart a course for future growth and development. Reverend Father Aaron Obi Ayok is the manager of St. Peter and Paul Catholic School, Okoyong.
That's the question that hovers my mind now. And to begin with, especially the spirit of collaboration within the teaching board, the staff, there's the teachers, that's the first thing. To combat these challenges, to tackle and bring to the forefront the spirit of collaboration between the teachers, late coming, and then the teachers too. Everybody has to put his hand on deck, especially the results, the output are what will actually speak out and do the advertisement for us. Yes, even if we go to the streets or the quarters, the communities to do the advertisement for the college, for the primary school, it may not speak volume like the results. So the first thing too, we have to talk about the results. So I think this coming year, this year it has not been the best, but we have tried. But as they say, beginning next year, we have to put our hands on deck to see how to combat these challenges.
The meeting exemplified the collaborative spirit among Catholic schools in the Diocese of Manfi. By sharing experiences and best practices, participants fostered a sense of community and cooperation, ultimately benefiting the students and the broader educational landscape. According to the Catholic Education Secretary, Reverend Father James Banksy says, despite the challenges faced during the 2024-2025 academic year, it is hoped that next year will be better.
We are grateful to God that the academic year ended well, without any major crisis, no major accidents, though we lost some of our teachers and pupils. But we are ready, we are determined to follow up with the challenges that have been presented here, and I'm very sure and confident that with the bishop that we have, he listens to every challenges with attention, and he gives appropriate solutions to them. I'm sure that the academic year, next academic year, is going to be better, very, very better. And we are inviting all the parents to bring their children to our schools. When you bring your children to our schools, we are sure that, or you should be sure when you bring your children to school, that they will have very, very good education in our schools in Manfi Diocese.
As the schools move forward, the insight gained from this meeting will go a long way to inform strategic planning and decision-making.
And in commemoration of the 12th edition of Menstrual Hygiene Day, celebrated under the theme Together for a Period-Friendly World, creating awareness on such a day as far as menstrual health and hygiene is of utmost importance as the world quest for availability of menstrual products and facilities of menstrual hygiene. Magdalene Wondo took interest in today's Menstrual Hygiene Day, celebrated globally, and outlined the need of creating a period-friendly environment for girls. Her report.
As the world marks the 12th edition of Menstrual Hygiene Day, advocates and organizations rallied together to raise awareness about menstrual health and hygiene. The theme of Menstrual Hygiene Day 2025, Together for a Period-Friendly World, emphasizes the need for collective action to break down stigmas and ensure that menstruation no longer limits individuals' potential.
Menstrual hygiene awareness is very crucial in our society today because many young girls are not aware of safe sanitary products. They are not aware of safe menstrual practices, and they are more filled with the stigma that is being surrounded with menstrual hygiene. There are some students that do not come to school because they are menstruating. That's because of the stigma they feel, especially when they are in class surrounded by guys and all that. So creating awareness is very, very important, that these girls, especially young girls, can be aware of choosing the right sanitary products, creating a healthy hygiene, knowing that you can clean yourself, change your sanitary pad every after 6 hours, knowing your menstrual cycle.
According to the World Health Organization and UNICEF, only 2 in 5 schools globally offer menstrual health education, and just 1 in 3 have bins for menstrual waste. Despite these challenges of poor menstrual hygiene, building a period-friendly sanitation facility, ensuring availability and affordability of menstrual products, and sensitizing men and boys of menstrual hygiene important.
Making an environment that is conducive for them to sit, open up, have discussions with their parents, guardians, or anybody around them. Not allowing the boys also. For the boys to engage themselves and create an environment where these girls can feel free while they are menstruating, can feel free to say, no, they are menstruating to a guy, and the guy understands it, can feel free in a situation where she's being stained and she needs an assistance of a guy to overcome that period, but rather than not by being mocked or laughed. So we are also educating the boys to be aware of some of these stigmas, how it affects the young girls in their self-esteem and all that.
As the global movement for a period-friendly world continues to grow, it is essential to create a more inclusive and supportive environment for individuals to manage menstruation with dignity and strive for a world where menstruation is no longer a barrier to education, health, and opportunities.
And to commemorate World Menstrual Hygiene Day, Caritas of the Diocese of Buea empowered both the girl and the boy child on the importance of menstrual hygiene. The sensitization campaign took place at GS Bonakanda and Bova. Aloysius Likia in this report brings to us the activities Caritas carried out to commemorate the day.
Periods don't pause for conflict, and neither does Caritas compassion. That was the message carried by Caritas this 28th of May, taking bold steps to normalize conversations around menstruation under the global theme, Together for a Period-Friendly World. In a sensitization outreach to government primary schools in Bonakanda and Bova, 51 Class 6 pupils, including both girls and boys, were engaged in open educational sessions on menstrual health, emotional intelligence, and dignity. Mr. Pierre Ernest Chinda is the director of Caritas Diocese of Buea. He gives us the importance of this campaign. During the sensitization campaign, girls receive reusable sanitary pad packs and the boys red medicated soap because awareness knows no gender. The mission goes beyond hygiene. It is a stand for human dignity by including sanitary pads in psychosocial support, especially for orphans and vulnerable children affected by the crisis. Recipients at the government primary school in Bonakanda and Bova says the sensitization was timely and thank Caritas for the knowledge gained. Caritas Diocese of Buea this day is joining other international organizations to promote menstrual hygiene with the call for a period-friendly world, and men are called to support their women and girl child to attain good menstrual hygiene.
Let's talk about menstruation openly. Menstruation is a human right.
Menstruation is a natural part of life.
Break the silence, not the taboo.
Empowering girl child, empowering women.
We take you to this other story. TACDEV, an organization with focus on revolutionizing agricultural education in Africa by strengthening universities and technical vocational education, has drilled staff of the Cameroon Opportunity Industrialization Center, OIC, on staff management skills. This one-day workshop took place at the Pavilion Building out there in Great Support. Aloysius Leke once more.
Transforming African agricultural universities to meaningfully contribute to Africa's growth and development was the aim of the one-day capacity and onboarding event organized by TACDEF. The capacity training was to staff of the Cameroon Opportunity Industrialization Center (OIC) in the field of agriculture and other domains, as explained by TACDEF Programs Director Emmanuel Su, who begins by telling us about TACDEF.
TACDEF is a program which stands for Transforming Africa's Agricultural Universities to Meaningfully Contribute to Africa's Growth and Development. It's a program that has 11 other African universities. University of Bamenda is the only university in Central Africa that is in that consortium. The rest are in other countries. We're working together to improve training so as to create work opportunities for young women and men on the continent. We are here in Boya to a capacity building workshop with staff of the Cameroon Opportunity Industrialization Center (COIC), because they are a technical vocational education and training institution that will be our partner in delivering training to enhance youth employment in Cameroon. Although agriculture is at the focus, there are many other skills that feed into agriculture, be it from engineering, from technology, from tourism and hospitality management and food processing. So our goal is to build the capacity of the staff, let them know that they are going to be partners in this program for the next 5 years and beyond, and also how we can work together to develop the training programs and help young people start businesses when they graduate.
The recipient institution, after the rich training, says it will go a long way in improving on their hands-on education in the field of agriculture and more. Dr. Lydia Nanga is the programs director of Cameroon OIC.
Cameroon OIC is very fortunate to be one of their partners because they are into universities and vocational TVETs. And Cameroon OIC being one of the premier vocational training institutions in the country, of course, is fortunate with its referentials to be taken as a #1 partner for vocational training. And here is one of our opening workshop with TACDEF team. They are here to have a one-day workshop with the Cameroon OIC staff to train the staff on its staff development program, and it's like an open door for Cameroon OIC. From here henceforth, we are going to collaborate, we are going to cooperate, we are going to work practically in the field of acquisition of skills.
The programs director of TACDEF says after the training, they will enter into an agreement with the Cameroon Opportunity Industrialization Center (OIC) to continue with the training.
So after this seminar, the OIC will sign an agreement with the University of Bamenda as a partner in the TACDEF 2.0 program. That will enable them to specify exactly what kind of skills we should train their staff in, how we can accompany their trainees to be able to get entrepreneurship certification and training at the school, and how we can work out soft loans and grants to the students when they graduate from here to be able to start their own businesses.
The staff of Cameroon OIC, after this training, are expected to improve on their services as well as pass on the knowledge to others.
His report that brings us to the end of the news. Before we go, let's revisit the headlines. In this newscast, we brought you images of a visit paid to the moderator of the Presbyterian Church by His Lordship Michael Bibi, and this goes away to appreciate the church's works in a show of ecumenism. The nursery and primary sections of Mount Carmel Catholic School graduates first batch today in an event presided over by Education Secretary Father Vincent Meswe. And today is International Menstrual Hygiene Day, a day set aside to sensitize the public and especially young girls on menstrual hygiene. Thank you for watching the news this evening. Tomorrow we shall be here again with another package of news-making events. Have a blessed evening in the company of programs on the Divine Mercy Radio Television. Good night.